So today I'll be showing you the filtration that I have on my pond, which is like a 3,500 to 4,000 gallon pond, which is a good size, but I'll pretty much be showing you the filtration I have. So if you haven't seen my previous videos, here is my pond. It is getting colder, so the plants are looking a little shabby, or at least the taros, and then I still need to add some plants over there. But basically the filtration, everything starts with a bottom drain over here, plus a skimmer over there. So the bottom drain is just going to be pulling water, or the pump's going to be pulling water, which is located over there behind that fence, which you can see. So you can't really see the filtration from this side, only from going behind or underneath this orange tree over here. The bottom drain I have is a Rhino Retro bottom drain with an air diffuser, which is the bubbles there. The Rhino Retro bottom drain is basically a bottom drain that sits on top of the liner, as you can see the plumbing over there. And then I have a skimmer over here, which is a helix skimmer, and this is basically just to catch all the floating debris, and it has some kind of pre-filtration before it goes to the actual pump, which is beneficial. And that also goes underground, or the plumbing goes underground to an area over there, which I'll be showing you right now. So all the filtration is situated over here. I'll show you where it starts. So it starts over here, or well, the plumbing starts over here. It comes from this side, which is the bottom drain, and from this side, which is the skimmer. It's kind of blocked off, but you can see I have bottom drain right in there, and then skimmer was right in there. But we have this fence here. One, it just makes it look nicer because we don't see these big cans and all the filtration from that side of the fence. Plus it also helps shade it a little. And then basically from the bottom drain in the skimmer, it comes to this Jandy well valve, or a three-way valve, which just allows me to adjust how much flow is coming from the skimmer. Well, not flow, how much suction is coming from the skimmer and the bottom drain. And from there it goes to my pump, which is over here, which is a sequence pump. It's an external pump with a built-in priming pot, 4,900 gallons per hour. I do need to get a stronger one so that I can have the water flow running better, since I have it split off into multiple parts, which I'll show you. So this pump is not strong enough to run everything. The only thing is, if you get too strong of a pump, you'll need to go to a bigger plumbing, or just split it off as soon as possible. So we'll see what I decide. I have this pump though, since I did get it for free. Otherwise I would have got a stronger pump, but since I did get this for free, pretty much the filtration for free, I'm using what I have, since it's a lot cheaper. I mean, the plumbing I had to buy is that, so I always have to change depending on the situation, which is still pretty pricey. But that's the pump I have. And from the pump, it comes up through here with multiple valves. So basically these valves just allow me to, if I turn off the pump, to shut things off so I can clean things out. From the pump, it comes over here into this filter, which is a bead filter. So inside it has a bunch of beads, which look like these basically. These are K2 biomedia. And that just allows a lot of biological surface area to clean it out. The only thing about these pumps is they don't catch, the filters, they don't catch the fine material. So if you really wanted to make sure the pond was crystal clear, didn't have any debris floating around, you'd have to have some sort of mesh or some cloth somewhere in the system somewhere that will just catch all that fine material. So it comes to here. This filter is nice because it has a built-in backwash. All I really have to do is just turn off the pump, turn some valves, and then also turn on this air blower, which basically stirs up everything, and that's pretty much what I have to do. And from here it goes directly out to my garden and to all the trees and everything. So I'm watering the trees and stuff with the water from my pond. And you can see, well, technically I was gonna hook up two filters, so I got the one for free and then I got the other one for pretty cheap. But on the one, it had a crack here, so I couldn't use the one, which is unfortunate. So we'll see if I do find one for cheap or free somewhere used later on, then I'll hook it up. So I have two filters. More filtration is always better if you can. From the filter, it comes off here and splits into two different spots. It splits off because of, well, primarily because of the UV, which is down here. This is an 80 watt aqua ultraviolet UV. So basically the reason it splits is because these UV units do a better job when the water is moving through them slower. So the slower the water, the more things they kill. It won't be slow enough to kill like everything, but it slows down. That way it can do a better job at getting rid of the algae. If the water was going through here at a lot slower rate, it can kill like different bacterias, virus, I don't know about viruses, but different things in the water just to make it better for the fish. I would have used a different unit, but since I got this one for free, I used that instead. Otherwise I would have got like a Pentair UV, which has a 6-inch pipe instead of a 2-inch pipe. That way the water slows down dramatically and it just does an overall better job. So this is the UV that I would prefer to have, which you can see is a Pentair UV. So the benefit of having like this one is, for example, so all my plumbing is in 2 inches, which is the inlet right here. And then after it goes through 2 inches, it expands to like a 6-inch pipe. And by doing so, the water slows down dramatically, which allows the UV to do a better job. Also, this UV lasts around 16 months versus the one I have, which is like maybe 12 months, 9 to 12 months. So this is definitely a better unit that I would have wanted to do, but it is more expensive. But that's the UV, and they split off and join together over there, which I can show you. So from here it joins together, and then it comes to this manifold, which goes to the different spots I have. You can see they're all labeled: jet, bog, waterfall, bog. Well, there's 2 bogs and jet. The only thing is though, I got these valves off of Amazon. They kind of suck, to be honest. Especially those 1.5 inch. I can't really turn on the jets since they leak, so I'll have to replace these. So if you're gonna do something like this, I suggest just using ball valves, because one, they're stronger. One, they're cheaper. 2, I think they might be a little stronger. And you can also tell how much you open them, because with these, I can't see the gap in between them, so I don't know how much they're open, which is kind of unfortunate. They do allow you to adjust it more fine-tunedly than a ball valve, but if you're gonna do something like this, I suggest just using ball valves, because as I said, it's cheaper and just easier to adjust. And they don't leak like these things, which sucks. And then from here, it goes to the different things. So right now I just have it on the waterfall and the 2 bogs, because those 2 are leaking, but the pump is not strong enough to really run the waterfall as I want it to. But I do want the 2 bogs running, because they're also an extra filtration. So I'll show you that. This spot that I just showed you was kind of like the main filtration, which just has the pump, the UV, the mechanical biofiltration over there, which is adding a lot of surface area for biological activity to break down things, and has the built-in backwash. Then from here, I go to an additional filtration, which is these 2 bog filters over here. So the main purpose of these is, one, they add a lot of biological surface area since they're filled with lava rock. That allows for a lot of bacteria to grow to break down the fish waste. And 2, it allows me to plant a good amount of plants. Because basically how it works is your fish are going to be producing waste from their breathing, their pooping and stuff in the form of ammonia. Bacteria, which is in the lava rock, on all the surface and everything, inside the filter, which I have behind there, break down that ammonia and convert it into nitrites. So both the ammonia and the nitrites are very harmful to the fish. So another bacteria starts eating that up and breaks it down, and that bacteria is also attached to all the surface area. And the more surface area you have, the more bacteria you can have that can break down that waste. And that waste is then converted into nitrates. And nitrates is the last stage in that nitrogen cycle, and it's only removed typically through you doing water changes or through having an immense amount of plants. So that's basically the purpose of having these 2 bog filters, is 1, as extra biological surface area, but 2, the plants will also help with breaking or absorbing the nitrates and taking it out. They won't do enough, since there's not enough plants to be able to take all the waste from these fish, which is unfortunate, because then I would need a ton more area to plant a lot more plants. But 1, it makes it look a little nicer, plus it is helping absorb the excess waste from the fish, which is pretty cool. So that's pretty much the filtration I have, which is the filter under there, plus these 2 bog filters over here. You can see the waterfall is going. As I mentioned, my pump is not strong enough, because then if I had it stronger, or a stronger pump, it would be coming over here. But I have water going into these 2 areas as well. There's always things you would redesign if you do things again. If I had more space or was able to use that area, I would have the bog filters basically behind the waterfall. That way I can have not as strong as a pump, because the water would go into the bog filters, and then from the bog into the waterfall, and then into the pond. And the jets that I did mention, I have 2 over here, which if they're on, it's basically for helping to exercise the koi, because it's giving a current in there, plus it helps stir up any waste in there to go to the bottom drain and all that stuff, even though so many airplanes flying around here. But anyways, since the pond is a little slope, it does help things settle down towards the bottom. But that's pretty much that, just showing you the filtration that we have on this pond, which basically starts here, goes over there, and then ends up into this section over here. If you do have any questions or comments, remember, as always, to leave them below and give a thumbs up and subscribe. Thank you for watching.